Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, I'm Daria, and it is a new month. Happy October. The monthly theme that I've chosen for this month is magic. So we'll just be kind of exploring magic in all of its various forms. And so today's practice is about just playing into the magic of movement. Oftentimes, for me, the transformation that happens in my physical state and my mental state and my emotional state after moving my body can feel like magic. And so that's what we'll be exploring in today's practice. All that you need is yourself and a space to move. And whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and get into it. We'll begin the practice in Supta Baddha Konasana. So come to lying on your back. You can bring the soles of the feet together to touch. Allow your knees to fall open wide and then relax the back of your heart and the back of your head down. You can take one hand to your low belly and bring one up to your heart space. And let's just start by stopping. So let go of anything that's happened in your day so far, or anything that needs to happen later on. All you have to do right here for the next few moments is just settle, drop, relax. Close your eyes if they're not, and begin to scan through your physical body and notice how you're doing. Notice all your different sensations. And notice also if there are some that your mind prefers over others. If that's the case, see if you can try for now to drop those preferences and be unattached. It's like you're at the bottom of a pool of water and you're watching the ripples overhead, but you're not feeling those ripples from where you're sitting. And now begin to check in with your mental state. Notice your thoughts as they come and go. Notice the speed at which the thoughts are flowing through. And with the thoughts as well, just look at them from below, but let them go as they come, remaining unattached. Just observing curiously. And then ask yourself how you're doing on a more emotional level or maybe a spiritual level. And sometimes, for me anyway, this can be the piece that's the most difficult to access, particularly at the beginning of the practice. And so if you're feeling numb or as though you aren't able to identify any sort of emotional state, that's okay. Just notice that. And let's start to intentionally bring more depth to the breath so that when you inhale, you feel the bottom palm, the palm that's on your low belly, rising with air. Carry the breath up to your ribs and then stretch it all the way to the surface of your collarbones. As you exhale, feel first as the chest relaxes, then the rib cage, and then the belly. Keep the breath sweet and simple, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose, Ujjayi Pranayama. Stay for 2 more full rounds of breath. Allow your body to feel heavy, weighted into gravity. As you're ready, blink your eyes open. Take your hands to the outsides of your thighs and just draw your knees back together. Walk your heels in a little closer towards your sit bones and then plant the soles of your feet flat to the earth as you bring your palms down beside you. On your next inhalation, imagine that you have a block that you're squeezing between your inner thighs, so they're kind of hugging in toward one another. Then begin to curl one vertebra at a time up and away from the mat, bridging your pelvis toward the sky. As you do this, stretch your arms all the way up and back until the tops of your hands come to the floor behind you. Squeeze your glutes at the top. Take one more breath in. As you exhale, take a slow roll all the way back down your spine. See how much you can articulate. It's like you're lying down a strand of pearls one at a time, all the way back to the tailbone. Hands float down beside you. Again, breathe in, press through your feet, bridge your hips up to the sky, and stretch your arms all the way up and back. As you exhale, slowly roll back down one vertebra at a time until your pelvis lands and the palms come down beside you. Take two more, riding the pace of your own breath. Inhale to bridge. Exhale to release. Feel that your heels are anchoring. Inhale, press your feet down and away from your pelvis as the arms stretch up. And exhale, gently lower. Bring your palms down beside you and then stretch your toes up toward the sky. Hug your inner thighs together and see if you can bring your inner ankle bones together so your big toe mounds are touching. Then spread your toes and energize them. Take a breath in. As you exhale, lower your feet, maybe like 30-ish degrees to start. Keep the low back flat. Breathe in. Breathe out, lower the legs down another 30-ish degrees. Take another inhale here. As you exhale, lower your legs as far as you can go while remaining flat through the back. Belly button hugs the spine. Breathe in at the bottom. Exhale, rise all the way back up. Inhale, feet to the sky. Exhale, lower slightly. Breathe in. Breathe out, lower down just a little bit more. Inhale, really press the low back to the mat. There's no curve. And exhale, lower down as far as you can go, hovering the feet while keeping the low back pressed down. Breathe in. Breathe out and float your legs all the way back up. Let's just do one more like that. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, lower down about 30 degrees. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze your inner thighs, lower down a little more. Inhale. Exhale, lower to your depth. Inhale here. And exhale, rise all the way back up. Draw your knees into your chest. Take your hands to the backs of your thighs and rock and roll the length of your spine a few times, coming up to a seat and then back down. And once you've taken a few rolls just like that, find your way up to a tabletop, quadruped position, hands and knees. We're aligning so that the shoulders are stacked directly over the wrists and your hips are stacked over your knees. We'll take a few rounds of cat-cows to open up the core and open up the spine. So on the inhalation, you're softening the front body, lift the tailbone, stretch your heart forward, and rise your eyes to the sky. Back body is contracting. Shoulders draw away from your ears like they're rolling down your back. Then as you exhale, press into the earth, get really hollow through your core, squeeze your inner thighs a little toward one another and press the back of your heart up to the sky, stretching between your vertebrae, expanding the spine. Inhale for cow, lift the eyes, lift the tailbone. Exhale, press down, round in. Take a few more at your own pace. Try to link your breath and your movement. Every day that you practice, you might notice that your breath has a different natural rhythm to it. Try to let your body flow with that rhythm, flowing in harmony. Neutralize your spine. On your next inhalation, plant the left palm and inhale to sweep your right arm up overhead. As you exhale, thread the needle, slide your right shoulder all the way through and down to the earth and relax the side of your face to the mat as well. Press into your left palm. Stay here, or you can curl your right toes underneath of you for support and then glide your left leg long and back. Maybe stay here or activate into the back line of the left leg, floating the leg up into the air any amount. Your glute and your hamstring are working. Left toenails spiral down toward the earth so the hips are square. Take one more breath in here. And breathe out to release. Left knee down to the mat. Press through your palm. Inhale, counter twist. Right fingertips open up toward the sky. And exhale, find tabletop again. Right palm down. Breathe in, left arm up. Breathe out and thread the needle. Left shoulder through and down. Relax your face. You can stay here, encouraging twist into the middle back, or you can start to reach the right toes to the back of your space. Press down into the foundation, so the left side of your face, the left shoulder, and the shin, and then float your right leg up toward the sky. Steady your breath. One more inhale. And as you exhale with control, gently release the right knee to the mat. Press through the right palm and fingertips. Inhale, left arm rises. And exhale, find your way to hands and knees. Palms anchor down, tuck your toes. Inhale, float your knees an inch away from the mat. And exhale, lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Take a moment in down dog, establish a steady foundation, and take any movements that you need. There's so much magic that we can find in simply listening to the expressions that our bodies are craving. And let your brain turn off its decision-making mode for the moment and allow your body to guide you. And then begin to find steadiness in down dog and stretchiness. So the tailbone and the crown of the head are stretching away from one another. The sitting bones are stretching apart. Heels are stretching toward the earth. Heart is reaching back toward your thighs. Pull in through the low ribs and press your hands and your feet down and away from each other. Next inhalation, root your left toes and stretch your right leg high. Three-legged down dog. Check that the hips are square so the top of your right thigh is pointing straight down to the earth. As you exhale, lift your left heel, hug in through your core, gaze forward and step forward, right foot to the top of your mat. Drop your left knee down. Inhale, kneeling warrior. Arms rise up toward the sky. Draw in through your waist and reach your heart. And then as you exhale, simply step forward, fold forward. Bring your feet parallel at the top of your mat. Take a breath in and halfway lift to lengthen out of your spine. As you breathe out, just simply bow forward. Inhale to root your left foot. Stretch your right leg long and back behind you. Fingertips can be on blocks if you need to bring the earth closer to you. As you exhale, bend your left knee deeply and step your right toes to the back of your space. The feet are aligned like train tracks, hips distance apart, back knee lowers. Breathe in, fingertips rise to the sky. As you exhale, place your palms down, lift your back knee, step to plank. Inhale, lean forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin to the mat, creating curves through your spine as you do so. Untuck your toes. Breathe in and undulate through your spine, finding a baby cobra. Base of the rib cage is lifting away from the earth. Heart and hands float. Toenails press down. One more inhalation. Exhale, place your palms beside your ribs. Curl your toes under. Come through hands and knees and then glide all the way back to downward facing dog. Allow 3 smooth breaths to flow up and down your spine, combing away any tension and allowing you to grow infinitely longer. Breathe in, stretch your left leg high, 3-legged down dog. As you exhale, step forward, left foot all the way through to the top of your mat. Right knee drops down behind you. Breathe in, kneeling warrior, Anjaneyasana. Reach for the sky, pull your inner thighs together, and exhale to step forward, fold forward. Feet parallel at the top of your mat. Breathe in, halfway lift. Lighten through your toes, but at the same time, shift your weight a little bit forward, pulling up through the fronts of your thighs. Exhale just to bow down. Breathe in, press down into the right foot and stretch your left leg long and back behind you. Spine is long. As you breathe out, bend the right knee deeply. Reach the left toes as far back as they'll go. Anchor them and then drop your back knee. Plug your big toes down as you breathe in and rise, kneeling warrior. As you breathe out, palms circle down to the mat. Lift your back knee, step to plank. Inhale, lean forward, shoulders move slightly over wrists. Exhale, knees come down. Lift the tailbone as you sink your heart to the mat, and then the chin. Untuck your toes, ripple through your spine. Breathe into a baby cobra. Your heart is like coiling forward. Exhale, palms beside the ribs. Curl the toes under. Come through hands and knees, and then from the tip of your tailbone, it's like you're being dragged up and back into downward facing dog. Take a few steady breaths. Inhale, right leg rises, three-legged down dog. Exhale, step forward, right foot to your right thumb. Back knee drops. Breathe in, fingertips rise, Anjaneyasana. This time as you breathe out, lean forward, palms to prayer. And then exhale and hook the left elbow outside of your right thigh, finding a little twist. Try to drive your thumbs away from your sternum as you revolve sequentially through the low back, then the middle back, then the upper back, and finally your gaze can move up toward the sky. Next, inhale, anchor through your feet as you unwind and stretch your arms to the sky. Exhale, step forward, fold forward, feet hips distance away. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left leg roots. Right toes glide back, spine lengthens, crown of your head stretches forward. Exhale, bend your left knee and softly land your right toes and knee to the back of your mats. Breathe in and stretch your arms all the way up overhead. This time, as you breathe out, circle your fingertips down to the base of your spine. Interlace them there. Hug the heels of your hands together. Keep a micro bend in your elbows. And begin to slingshot your heart a little bit up toward the sky. Flex through your left foot, so just the heel is rooted. And then drag your hips back until the left leg draws towards straight. As the hips reach back, the heart reaches forward. We're coming into like an active half splits. Breathe here. Release your palms. Step into the left foot. Place the hands beside your foot. Lift your back knee. Step to plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, glide back. Inhale, left leg high to the sky, three-legged down dog. Exhale, soft step forward. Gaze forward first and then step your foot to where you're gazing. Drop your back knee. Breathe in, reach for the sky. Breathe out, palms to prayer. Lean your heart forward and then in the same exhale, hook your right elbow outside of your left thigh. Hug in through your core, hug left heel and right knee toward each other, and begin to revolve. Stabilize through the foundation of your legs and your feet. Next, inhale, unwind. Turn your torso forward, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, step to the top of your mat, feet hips distance apart. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, fold. Inhale, right foot roots. Left leg glides back, standing L. Exhale, bend your right knee deeply and step your left toes to the back of your mat and then release your knee. Breathe in. Fingertips rise high. Breathe out. Draw the fingertips to the base of your spine. Interlace them, maybe going the opposite way as on the first side if you can remember. Heels of your hands stay hugging. Shoulder blades squeeze together, then begin to flex through your front toes. Hips go back, heart goes forward. Pull back on the outer right hip and breathe into the back line of your right leg. Feel that the more you flex your toes, the more depth of sensation you can feel into the back of your thigh, the hamstrings. Inhale, step forward. Place your palms, lift your back knee, and find plank. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. If you need a sigh or an open mouth exhale, or to make any kind of an audible breath out, go ahead and do so. It can be very clearing. Inhale, root the left toes, reach your right leg high. Exhale, step forward, right foot through to the top of the mat. Drop your back knee, breathe in and reach for the sky, Anjaneyasana. One exhale, breathe out, twist. Left elbow outside of the right thigh. This time you can stay here, or if you'd like, you can press straight down into your back big toe mound and float the left knee away from the earth into a revolved crescent lunge. Sweeten your breath. You can keep the back knee lifted or drop it back down. As you inhale, revolve your torso forward, fingertips to the sky. As you exhale, step forward, fold forward, feet parallel. Breathe in, halfway lift, lengthen out of your spine. Breathe out just to fold. Inhale, right toes reach back. Pull back on your fingertips to traction your spine longer. Exhale, bend your left knee and step the right toes to the back of the mat. Drop your right knee behind you. Breathe in, fingertips rise. Breathe out, circle the arms around, interlace the fingers. Stretch your knuckles back as your heart pulls forward. Left toes flex, leg draws towards straight. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, stay, bow into your depth. One more inhale. Exhale, step down, place your palms, lift your back knee, left toes to the back of the mat, plank. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Curl the base of your heart to the top of your mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in and stretch your left leg high. Breathe out, step forward, left foot, left thumb. Right knee finds the earth behind you. Inhale, fingertips float up. Exhale, twist. Right elbow outside of the left thigh. Stay, or once you've found your anchor point, you can lift the back knee. Eventually revolve your gaze toward the sky. On your next inhale, draw your inner thighs toward one another to stabilize. Rise your fingertips all the way up overhead. And then exhale, step forward, fold forward, top of your mat. Breathe in and take a big halfway lift. Breathe out, fold. Inhale, right toes stay rooted. Left leg comes to the back of the mat. Exhale, bend your knee and step to a low lunge. Left knee sinks down. Breathe in, fingertips to the sky, Anjaneyasana. Breathe out, active half splits with fingers interlaced at the base of your spine. Stretch your heart forward. Take a full round of breath here. The inhale, you create the space. And on the exhale, it's like you're gliding into that space, but gently, always. Step forward, place your palms, lift your back knee, come to plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out, sigh, open mouth, exhale. One more like that. Inhale, gather up anything that you don't need, any residue that's come up through your practice. Exhale, let it go. Then lift your heels, sink both knees to the mat. Come to a seat back on your heels and bring your palms facing up toward the sky so they're open and receptive. You can close your eyes. Allow the shoulders to fall heavy down your back. Pause just to feel. See if you can notice any shifts from when we began practice to this moment, just from these simple movements and from synchronizing the breath and the movement. Blink your eyes open. Come on down to a seat. Swing your legs forward to the top of the mat and then roll down to lie on your back. You can go slow if you like. Lowering for 5, for 4, hollow core. 3, 2, and 1. Until finally the entire back body comes flat to the mat. Stretch your left leg forward and then hug your right knee in toward your chest. Make a few circles with the knee, massaging your hip crease. You can even bring your right thumb to the hip crease and encourage it to soften. Sometimes for me, this area wants to overly activate. And then stretch your right leg all the way up toward the sky. It can be straight-ish, doesn't have to be fully straight. Grab for what's available, hamstring, calf, ankle, maybe the foot, and create a stretch that feels interesting but relatively gentle for you. There's no pressure to come into any certain depth. You can even close your eyes. This always helps me to feel internally rather than externally. It's a constant reminder. Let go of the grip of your right leg and then imagine that you're moving through water. So it's like your leg is floating down really slowly all the way back to the top of the mat. Go maybe a little slower than you want to. And then finally, when the right foot lands, just feel for a moment the difference between one side and the other. Maybe the side that's been stretched more feels a little longer or a little more open. When you're ready, draw your left knee into your chest, interlace your fingers over the shin, and make some easy circles. If you like, once again, you can massage the hip flexor area with the left thumb. And then stretch your left leg straight toward the sky, grab for what's available, and take a few breaths here, open into the back line of your leg. And you can play with the positioning of your foot. With the toes flexed, you might feel some different sensations than if your toes are pointed. So maybe explore both, and you can flow back and forth between them. And slowly begin to release. Float the left leg back down to the mat. Imagine your leg is lengthening from your waistline all the way out through the tips of your toes. And also let the leg be relatively weightless, so it's just floating in the air. Good. And once the leg comes down, allow yourself to surrender into Savasana. You can readjust as you need. Find your coziest resting pose. And then just settle into all of the magic that your movement created. Feel free to rest here as long as you're able and as long as you'd like. When you're ready to come out into the rest of your day or your night, let's take a deeper breath all together, filling up the low belly, then the ribs, all the way to the tops of the lungs. Exhale, sigh it out. One more deep breath. Inhale, filling up. Exhale. Take the tip of your thumb and touch it to each individual finger pad. Roll one ear toward the mat and then the other. And then stretch out long, arms back, toes forward. Grow in 2 directions. And roll to fetal pose, whichever side feels like that's where you want to go, you can go there. Head down, and just take a moment to feel how restorative this posture can be for the body. Press down. Make your way up to a seat and try, if you can, to keep your eyes closed through this transition to Sukhasana. Staying connected internally. Palms face up toward the sky. Drop your shoulders. Take a moment now to acknowledge the magic of your movement practice. Any shifts that you noticed, any discoveries that you made, anything that you were processing in the practice, whether consciously or unconsciously, and anything you were able to release and to let go. Draw your palms to touch at heart center and feel all of the places where your left palm and your right one connect with one another. And feel like the charging of energy between your 2 hands. And then take this energy up to your 3rd eye. Draw the thumbs there. Inhale. Exhale, bow forward. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. As always, I hope that you were able to find some magic in your movement practice today and that you're doing well wherever you are. If you're not already, you can go down below and subscribe to my channel. You can also join as a monthly donation member. Both of those really help to support me, and I am so appreciative for all your support. So I'll see you very soon in the next class. Bye.